Hi, I'm Omid and I'm here with 4 life-changing tips in Power Query. Tips number 1. There are lots of situations that you add a new columns and then come and remove the previous columns. Instead of doing this, you can apply the transformation easily on the origin columns. Consider this example. Out of product ID, I need the part between the dash and a slash. To do this, usually we are going to add a custom columns, use text between delimiters and say on the product ID, provide the part between the dash and a slash. And see, this is the custom columns. Then we go back and remove this one and say this is the product ID. But instead of doing these 3 steps, when you add a custom column, instead of using table.addColumns, let's use table.transformColumns. The first argument is unchanged. In the second argument, instead of providing the name of the new columns, let's use the name of the previous columns, product ID. And here, instead of referring to name of the columns, product ID, let's replace it by underscore. The only steps required, you need to put this one, the second and third argument, into the curly bracket and see. Instead of applying in different steps, you can apply the modification directly on that columns. Tips number 2. In such table, if you need to change all the column types into specific types, instead of selecting all the columns and go to the home tabs and change the type, you can use the transformation function again. Let's press Fx here and use table transformation columns. On the source table, in the second argument, I provide empty curly bracket, and in the third argument, I will use number from. And see the result. By doing this, all the column types are changed to numbers. And it's completely dynamic. If you add new columns, it's also considered add columns. Tips number 3. In the previous example, if you want to provide some exemption for some columns, for example, year or other columns, and consider them as a text, you can provide them here. Let's write year should be text from. By doing this column is considered as a text. And if the number of columns are more than 1, you should provide all of them in one curly bracket. And in each argument, provide another curly bracket, provide the name of the columns, for example, quarter, and then comma, text from. Yeah. Tips number 4. If you have such a long table, including several columns, and you want to calculate some of the product sales per year, instead of right-click on the year, pick the group by commands, and then provides the sum for product 1 and also for other product by selecting sum here, product 2, and the same for others. Instead of doing this, it would be easier to select year and quarter, right click on one of them and then say unpivot other columns. In the result table, we can remove these columns and then pivot based on the attribute column. So go to the transform and pivot it and say calculate the sum of the column values. Advanced option sum. And yeah, it addressed the problem and it's completely dynamic.